Welcome to the Holiday Prep Live. The focus of today is holiday prep. Obviously, it's called Holiday Prep Live for a reason. And we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff here. Because there are so many of you that are new, I will give you a little bit of, not a warning, but just a little bit of a fair notice. These lives get very intense, right? My whole teaching style revolves around getting you to where you want to go the fastest. And because of that, I can't sugarcoat anything. And I'm not actually worried about your guys' feelings because I know you're all very, very, very resilient and you're following Beowulf Biz because you're wolves and you can handle what I have to say. When we cut out the sugarcoating, we get to arrive at where we need to go 20 times faster. So these lives get intense. I'm never meaning to hurt your feelings. Everything that I'm saying is with the utmost love. And I just believe in you guys, which is why I like to be so straightforward, okay? So don't let it scare you away or get your feelings hurt if I'm straight up with you, okay? But I have spoken about in the last few months, basically saying like, how do I say this without cursing? I'm gonna try to go the entire live without cursing. We all know it's not gonna happen, but I'm gonna try really hard. I've been on lives in the last few months saying basically F Q4, right? Like Q4 is something that it just annoys me so much. Every like August and September, I get flooded with questions about people being like, how do I prepare for Q4? What should I do for Q4? Q4. You hear so much, there's like so much buzz about it, right? Finally, I came out and said, can we just stop this madness? Like, yeah, more people are online shopping during Q4 and that's fine. But if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing all year round anyways, and if you're focusing on where you need to focus, being demand and serving your customer and stop worrying about your freaking self and what you're getting out of everything, how you're making sales faster, where your stats are at, why you're not getting more views. Like if we can stop worrying about the wrong stuff and start focusing on the right stuff, you don't have to worry about Q4. Q4 is just icing on the cake because you're already doing the right work all year and your sales increase naturally because there's just more shoppers, right? Yes, you can add stuff if you want, and that's what we're gonna talk about here today. But I wanna just be very clear in the beginning that I'm not one of these hype people around Q4. I wanna teach you how to make Q4 level money all year long. If you're doing the right stuff, evergreen all the way, exactly. Do the right stuff all year round, you won't have to prepare for Q4, okay? I just don't want to add to that hype. I don't want anything that I teach or talk about to add to that hype. I don't want to pressure you guys in any way about Christmas or holidays in general or anything like that. So it sounds like a little bit of a paradox because you're like, why are you putting on a holiday prep event then? Because it's okay to sell holiday stuff. It's okay to add things to your shop during the holiday season. What I don't think is as helpful is this weird obsession with Q4, okay? Who cares what quarter it is? We should be making bananas amounts of cash all year round because we're always taking the right actions and we're always focused on the right stuff. And Q4 is just like, oh, cool, even more money. That's the vibe, right? Okay, so for those of you just joining, welcome to the Holiday Prep Instagram Live special event. I spent 3 hours last night creating these adorable slides in order to put on this event today for you on Instagram Live. However, Instagram decided to revoke our right to share slides or photos or whatever, unless I'm just not seeing this. If anybody knows anything about this, I can't find it anywhere. The little button that's usually there is gone. But that's okay because we're flexible and we just go with the flow. Whatever's happening, we're gonna adapt. So I'm going to just read my slides in front of me here. You guys take notes. This is going to be a little bit more conversational back and forth format of a live. Typically I say like, well, I'm presenting the information. Put all your questions in the question box and I'll get to them at the end. You guys can ask me questions in the chat as I go along in this live. I think it'll be more conversational, but you can also put questions in the little chat box to the right-hand corner there if you'd like. Okay, so on our agenda today, we're gonna talk about where and how to get focused for the holiday season this year and every year. So I know a lot of you may be thinking like, oh, it's too late, or why is she talking about this now, or why did we do this earlier? It's not necessarily too late, but the reason why I'm running this in general is just so you have the general knowledge. Because if you're in this for the long run, the information I'm giving you here today is going to apply to every holiday. So we're not necessarily just talking about Christmas, okay? So we're going to be talking about where and how to get focused. And then we're going to be talking about tips and tricks to accelerate your sales and improve efficiency in your shop. So if you're a really busy shop around any holiday, or hopefully all year round, you'll know, most of you probably are new and just still trying to build momentum, that's fine. But if you are a busy shop, you know that efficiency is one of the most important things in order to run a successful shop. If you have leaks in your process, if you don't know correct shipping times, if you're not prepared, basically, you're going to set yourself up for failure. So the Holiday Prep Live is really a time for us to just discuss how to get more efficient, how to tighten up the process, and all of the things that you need to know, or the main things that you need to know in order to have a more efficient holiday season. Again, for Christmas, yes, but for any holiday, we're talking St. Patrick's, Valentine's Day, 4th of July, Halloween, all that sort of stuff, this information applies to, okay? All right, so from the official Printify holiday guide, which I very, very, very highly recommend all of you read through. Printify and Printful, I'm going to talk about this later as well, but they have very helpful holiday guides every single year. And it basically outlines everything that you need to know to be prepared as a seller. In the Printify holiday guide this year, they talk about how the upcoming holiday season, it's projected that a whopping 95% of consumers are planning on making purchases during this time of year, which is not surprising, but that's a high number, right? Like 95% of consumers are planning on making e-commerce purchases. And then consumers, this is the most important part, are projected to spend an average of $1,652 this year during the holiday season, which is higher than pre-pandemic levels. That's also very exciting. So I just want to reiterate, I'm going to keep saying this, sound like a broken record, but it's important that you guys know you don't have to apply this just to Christmas. This is for everything, but it is really exciting that the holiday seasons like this year are really busy. People are buying. We know that for sure. So people are saying like, oh, the economy, this or that. Like, no, people are buying. Okay, so it's worth it to put in the effort. So the is it too late argument. Like I said, some of you may be wondering like, why are we doing this on Black Friday? Christmas is right around the corner. It's too late to list any Christmas items. The cutoff deadlines for Printify and Printful, they vary depending on what your partner manufacturer is. With Printify at least, Printful is their own thing. But it's December 10th through 12th-ish. You have to look up the dates yourself in their holiday guides. But that's the cutoff for people to order from you to have guaranteed Christmas delivery, right? So that's a little over 2 weeks. So if you get busy tonight and list a bunch of stuff tonight, tomorrow, the next day, even next week, you still have time if you do it correctly. I want to make something very clear. However, you don't have to sell Christmas items. Okay, you don't have to do what I said and start creating stuff tonight based on what you learn in this live today. You just, period, do not have to sell Christmas items. I really want to drive the point home that you need to get rid of FOMO. You need to get rid of that lack mentality. You need to stop making Q4 some big magical thing that isn't necessarily accurate. Like, you need to focus on taking the right action all the time. You don't necessarily have to sell Christmas stuff or are missing out on anything if you don't, okay? I hear people say all the time, I have this fear of missing out. I know I should be doing this, but I don't know what to do and blah, 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 blah. If you want to, all of this is completely optional. You're not necessarily missing out on anything if you don't, okay? So take that seriously. So in terms of what matters most, which is what we're talking about today, we're going to talk about what exactly should you be selling? What elements turn a viewer into a buyer? print on demand technicalities like stock issues and processing times. Okay, so this is really important stuff for everybody, whether you're selling specifically Christmas items or not. It's really important. Okay, and I need you guys to stay until the end. Please do not leave. I am giving away top seller secret. We're doing giveaways at the end, and other stuff too. I've never in the last year given away top seller secret. It's my master course. It's the big one. So please stay until the end, because that giveaway is going to only be to people who are here live that enter in the giveaway. All right, so what exactly should you be selling? Let me show you this slide, because you guys have to have the visual on this one. And for those of you who have been with me a while, you know. Can you see it? You can see the reflection of my ring light. Okay, current hot trends, but make it Christmas. Okay, this is what we're talking about. What should you be selling during the Christmas season if you want to target Christmas customers? Current hot trends, but make it Christmas, Tyra style. I made this meme 2 years ago when I ran this live, and it became, I know it's mirrored, but I'm sorry, that's the best I can do without the slides. We did this 2 years ago, and like the Tyra meme blew up. And that is the whole gist of what I teach in terms of holiday anything. If you read my ebook Blank to Bank, you know that trend combining is the main thing that I suggest for any holiday sales, right? So when we're thinking, okay, I want to get in on this, if you have the desire to sell Christmas stuff, you want to take the current hot trends of the year, which is, if you've been taking the right action, if you've been following me for a while, you should have the resources. You should be in Wolf School every other week. We're talking about current trends, right? Specific trends and general bestseller trends. You should be doing the right work to already know what that is. If you're new, you can do a little bit of research and find the main ones and build from there. But the main idea is to take what's already trending from the year and make it Christmas. Or if we're talking just general holidays in general, make it Halloween, make it Valentine's Day, make it 4th of July, right? This is the biggest unlock for crazy holiday sales. And I think a lot of people hear me and they're like, maybe, okay, maybe, but I still want to make like Merry Christmas shirts. That's fine. You can do that. You can make Merry Christmas shirts. You're not going to make sales, okay? This is where my tough love comes in. You make shirts that say merry and bright, congratulations, you just wasted a bunch of your time. If you're not trend combining and you're just putting your designs in the same pool as hundreds of thousands of other sellers that are trying to sell the exact same thing, good luck, honestly, and all the good luck in the world isn't gonna help you, because you're just not gonna make sales, okay? Trying to compete with generic holiday designs is the worst thing you can do. I don't care what the YouTubers are telling you, okay? I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So the best thing you can do is get really good at trend combining and get really good at knowing what's currently in demand and what the hottest trends are right now. Jamie says, hardest lesson I've learned this year. A lot of people have to learn it the hard way, Jamie. It is one of those things, just like with ads, right? I tell people, please don't turn your ads on. You're gonna waste your money. It's just, that's the truth. You're gonna waste your money. Nobody listens because they want the shortcut. And so they turn ads on, they waste a bunch of money, and then they come back and say, Brittany, you were right. I know. I try to tell you guys, like, I have worked with so many people and I've gone through this myself. So everything that I tell you is through not only personal experience, but the experience of thousands of other sellers at the same time. So I tell you guys this stuff to save your time, but if you have to learn things the hard way in order to actually get it, then by all means, try it anyway, but you're gonna waste a lot of time if you go down the generic holiday route, okay? All right, so most sellers hear Christmas sales and they think Christmas products, right? This is so important. If you're taking notes, this is definitely something to remember. Most sellers hear Christmas sales, right? They're like, I wanna explode my shop during Christmas. And they think Christmas products, right? I need Christmas shirts. I need Christmas stuff to sell. the few that actually make bank during the Christmas season hear Christmas sales and they think trending products, gifts, G-I-F-T-S, not G-I-F-S, presents, okay? Products that have been trending all year round skyrocket during Christmas because they're in demand and people are buying presents for their family. Okay, yes, they're buying Merry Christmas shirts and other Christmas stuff too, but the amount of people buying already trending products that have been trending throughout the whole year for presents is so much greater. It's literally so much greater. I had my highest sales day in my entire store's history yesterday selling a Christmas themed shirt off my already trending niche. Yep. Yeah, I promise you I tell no lies. And if I ever do, you can call me out on them. But I swear the information that I'm giving you is beyond valuable, okay? You're not selling a shirt, mug, or whatever. You're selling a gift. Exactly. So I have this little diagram here. I'll show you. You guys would have seen this. I'm just so salty about not being able to show my slides. I'm sorry. Yes, the text is mirrored, but like I said, there's nothing I can do about that. So what you're seeing, the dots that you're seeing at the top of my screen, those are people buying Christmas design print-on-demand products. That's the pool of people buying Merry Christmas shirts and Christmas designs mixed with current trends. The pool of dots you're seeing at the bottom of the screen represent people buying this year's trending POD products for Christmas gifts. Okay, I just wanted you guys to visually be able to see the difference. I know it's not technical, it's not exact percentages, but this is true, okay? The pool of people buying Christmas themed products is so much smaller than the pool of people buying this year's trending products that have already been trending that people just want, right? Like cowgirl stuff, Western stuff. And most people don't think like this. Again, this is why I said at the beginning of this live, I am not a proponent of freaking out about Q4 or preparing for Christmas, because if you're doing the right work all year and becoming more of an expert on what's in demand all of the time, then you already have products in your shop that are gonna sell like crazy during Q4 because people are buying gifts. They're typing in women's shirts. They know that the 24-year-old niece that they're shopping for loves cowgirl stuff, so they're gonna buy a cowgirl shirt, right? I keep using that example because the Western trend is like one of the most massive trends this year. Make sense? So are you guys with me so far? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because making this switch is extremely necessary in your brain. Okay. So if you must sell Christmas products, right? If you just think, well, I really don't want to miss out, so I'm going to sell Christmas products still. That's okay. You can. That's up to you. That's your discernment. I'm not going to sit here and say you should sell Christmas products or you shouldn't. You can make it work either way. It's up to you. You're not dumb. If you feel the pull to do that, don't do it from FOMO, but do it from like, no, I feel like I can make some really badass designs, so I'm going to create for Christmas. Don't do it from fear of missing out. Okay, do it from the energy of like, no, this sounds fun. This sounds like a cool challenge. I'm gonna do it. If you're not coming from that place, if you're coming from a place of lack, like you have to take advantage of the Christmas designs or else you're not gonna make sales, like don't do that, okay? So if you must sell Christmas products, if you're feeling pulled to do that, find a way to creatively make these products with a Christmas twist. Okay? You're trend combining. If you're in Wolf School, we just had the trend combo workshop. That was like out of this world, so good. You can still join November Wolf School and get access to the trend combining workshop, okay? It's linked in my bio right now. If you want access to all November content in Wolf School plus the trend combo workshop, where you're actually going to see in action we did trend combination design critiques. I showed loads of examples, like so many examples of Christmas trend combinations, Christianity niche, Western niche. There was just like so many examples, and I taught about how to create trends. And I also gave Wolf School members access to a Top Seller Secret exclusive trend combo tutorial as well. It's huge, and you can still get access to everything if you join only in November. Okay, so you want to find a way, if this is something that you feel pulled to do, and not because you have a fear of missing out, but because you actively just want to do it, you think it sounds fun. You want to find a way to creatively make current trends, but with a twist of Christmas, okay? So 2023 current hot trend, plus make it Christmas, okay? Sarah says, my first month of Wolf School, and I've learned so much so far. Yeah, Sarah, this was a really good month to join. I'm glad you're in there. Okay, so we've got some examples of trend combo Christmas t-shirts I'm gonna show you guys. Like I said, if you want more of this, if you feel like, well, I wanna do the trend combo thing, I'm just not sure how, literally the information in Wolf School right now is worth 10 times what you're gonna pay for access to all of that information. So get into Wolf School. But we'll start with this stuff. So again, it's gonna be mirrored. You guys are just gonna have to bear with me. This Mary shirt, everything that I'm showing you here as well, is a bestseller. And that's not because I wanted to show you guys just bestseller designs. It's because almost every design that's trend combined well, like when the seller does a good job of taking a really hot current trend and combining it with Christmas, it's going to get a bestseller badge when they do it well, because this is what actually works, right? Like this is what actually creates sales. I'm not telling you guys this because it's some fun information that I felt like sharing. I'm telling you this because this is what creates mega sellers, okay? Chris, I could put the slide deck in Kajabi, but a lot of people in here aren't in any of my courses, so that wouldn't really make sense. So we're just doing the best we can. So this is the collegiate font, which is the current trend. And then they did the Christmas colors with just the word Merry. The collegiate font trend has been huge. It's been massive. So taking the collegiate font trend and making it Christmas, brilliant. All of these are brilliant. Another bestseller, the Christmas chicken shirt. Chickens, various animals, lots of different animal trends have been massive, and a lot of sellers right now are taking animals and making them Christmas. Okay, so like, how simple is this, right? When I teach trend combining, people are like, my mind is blown. It's so much easier than I ever thought. I was making it so much more difficult than necessary. And that is 100% true. Everybody thinks it's this like really mystical concept and it's so difficult. No, just take animals and put Santa hats on them, right? Like obviously a lot of people are already doing this. So what I don't want you guys to do is see me show you this trend example and then be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go and make a design as close to that as possible and hopefully it'll sell. You're coming from the wrong energy. It's not gonna work. You're gonna waste your time and you're not gonna make sales. We're not here to copy people. I'm showing you guys these examples to inspire you and to show you what works and to give you actual tangible examples of what it is that I'm teaching, which is trend combining, right? This one's absolutely brilliant as well. Another bestseller, all booked for Christmas, the stack of books as a Christmas tree and the snowflakes all around it, right? All booked for Christmas. So we've got the book core niche, which has been trending on Etsy for like 3 years, not going anywhere. This is such a creative way of taking that current trend and making it Christmas, right? It's so creative, but so simple at the same time, all booked for Christmas, right? All right, and so you've got 2 more examples. This one's a little bit harder to see. I think it's a little bit smaller. I keep talking about the Western trend, Giddy Up. I think these are like a Christmas song lyrics put with Santa riding a rodeo horse. They just took Western rodeo desert trend vibes, obviously going very hard in terms of demand all year long, and they made it Christmas. Are you guys understanding this concept? Is it clicking? Are you like, oh, now I see why we're not creating Merry Christmas shirts. That makes a lot more sense, right? because you're combining two things that are in demand. If you're not selling stuff that's in demand, you're not going to make sales. That is basic business 101. If you're not supplying people with what they're wanting and searching for and they have an emotional connection with, you're not making sales, which is the reason most of you aren't making sales, because you're just churning stuff out and then being like, where's my sales? And you have no experience or mental archive or any type of expertise whatsoever around demand. And that is a problem. When I tell you that is your main problem, I mean that. Yes, all of my courses are linked at the link in my bio. Okay, so the reason why I teach this trend combining is because of course you can list Christmas designs, but you're not going to make the sales because a million other people are also doing the same thing. So blending it with things that are already trending and getting creative and doing research so you have a large enough mental archive, that little place in your subconscious that stores information about demand that you find during research, having a big enough mental archive to where you can just put things together and it flows and it makes sense and people actually want what you're selling. It's an art and it takes time and it takes effort. So if you're lazy, if research isn't really your thing, if you just want the shortcut to make more sales, you're in the wrong place, because I'm not going to give you BS as clickbait to get you to follow me, right? I'm going to actually tell you the truth. And this is the stuff that works, but you have to be willing to put in the work. All those examples are so much more interesting than basic Christmas shirt. Well, you and everyone else, right? That's what is at the heart of all of this, is that there's so much emotional connection to it. I always tell people one of the most effective things you can do to build your expertise around being a print-on-demand seller and really nailing becoming a mega seller is to think about the general buyer experience. What are people looking at? Like, what's going to catch their attention? What trends are they looking for? Obviously, but like, what's making people click? What's making people add things to their cart? Like, thinking about buyer experience. But then being a buyer yourself and going through and just having a really high level of self-awareness while you're shopping on Etsy and being like, oh, why did that just catch my eye? Why did I get that little ping feeling inside me that's like, oh my God, I have to get this shirt right now. Why? What about that design made you feel that way? Because that little ping, I just talked about this in a recent live that I did too. That little ping is called emotional connection, and emotions are what create purchases. So when you can conjure that type of emotional connection in your potential buyers, you are a mega seller in the making, period. You have to be able to incite emotion. And you cannot do that without knowing what's in demand and being really good at creating designs that fall into that category. Can you show us how to actually upload an item? So I have a quick start guide. I'm going to announce something for brand new sellers. Stay until the end. I have a Black Friday special on it. It's going to be everything new sellers need. How will it be seen if these are already popular niches? You got to get into Top Seller Secret to understand really how that works. There's so much that goes into it. There's not an easy answer for that. There's thousands of variables, and you have to be good at search engine optimization. You've got to be able to pick the right mockups. You have to create designs that are in demand. The algorithm does more work for you than anybody realizes. If you have super good, high demand, genuinely unique, high demand designs, you don't even need good SEO, right? But I teach you how to do SEO. I teach you how to leverage eRank as a resource. I teach you how to make only database decisions in order to rank organically with no ads. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so the last example here is, I love this one, In My Merry Era. Look at how cute those colors are. This is posted on my feed. The In My Blank Era has absolutely blown up since the Taylor Swift thing. Probably 6 or 7 months ago. It's still going so strong. Everybody's applying it to literally every niche possible. Everything. So it makes sense to apply it to Christmas, but In My Merry Era, I think it's just so simple. It's so cute. The way that they did the alternating colors of the letters, so adorable. One of the best examples, I think, of Just a super on point trend combo. And here's what I want to say to the people that are new, who are looking at these designs and being like, there's no way in hell that I would literally ever be able to come up with anything like that. Okay, is there anybody in here, do you want to be brave enough to admit in the chat that you're looking at those designs and being like, I never would have thought of that. I do not have that capability. That is way outside of my creative zone. Like, there's just absolutely no way I could have come up with that. If that is where you're at this point, it means you're new. It means, just like playing basketball, who picks up a basketball and becomes Michael Jordan? No one. Okay? We have to flip our mindset about how all of this works. Print on demand is a skill to be learned. It is not something that we walk into with entitlement and say, why can't I create what everybody else is creating? You have to work. You have to build your mental archive in order to understand what's in demand, in order to sit down and be able to effortlessly create designs. I do design critiques and like update them live in the Wolf School, my monthly memberships group coaching call every month. And I always get the same feedback. People are like, Brittany, you're literally a magician. Like, how do you just see something and you make so many updates so quickly to a design and you completely transform it? It's like watching magic happen. And I tell them there's no magic involved whatsoever. I've worked my absolute ass off. I have spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours researching in order to understand demand, just like Michael Jordan was always practicing. He was playing games when he had 104-degree fevers, right? Like, he was suffering through the process, and you shouldn't have to suffer through the process. It should be really fun. Sometimes it'll be really hard, but regardless if it's fun or hard, you keep doing it anyways. People want to skip that part. And when you follow me, I don't let you skip that part, because if you follow me, it's because you actually want to be a six-figure seller. You want to hit that mega seller level. And you can't do that without becoming the mega seller. You cannot get six-figure level results without becoming a mega seller first. So you're making mega seller decisions. You're putting in mega seller level work. You guys see Etsy shops making thousands of sales a week, and you're like, why can't that be me? Because you haven't put the amount of work in that those people have put in. Plain and simple. This is a skill. No one is entitled to results. You do not get sales because you've listed items on Etsy. Congratulations, anyone can do that. And if this was easy, and if this is something that didn't require work, everyone would be a six-figure seller on Etsy. We have to wake up. We have to stop acting like we are owed sales, or stop acting like Etsy doesn't work. Right? Etsy doesn't work for me. Etsy works for everybody else. No, people know how to work Etsy. They're willing to put in the work on Etsy. And that's where a lot of people are lacking. They don't want to put in the time. They don't want to do the research. They don't want to become the expert. They just want the results. But if you don't first become the mega seller through putting in the work, you're never going to get the mega seller results, because you don't deserve them. I'm going to let that sink in for a second, okay? Because I really want you guys to hear this. Stop wondering where your sales are. Take that time that you're spending worrying and like getting discouraged, and channel it into doing the effing work. Doing the actual research. Get it. If you don't know how to research, get into Research Revolution, right? Actually, you can't do that anymore. Only Top Seller Secret students can. But you can get into Top Seller Secret. Okay? So I have all the resources you need in order to understand how to do things. So you don't actually have any of those excuses. If you really actually want this, you have to cut out all of the BS, all of the reasons you think you can't do it, and you just have to start doing it. You have to get the right resources. You have to commit to doing the work. You have to stop being entitled to results that you haven't worked for. Stop envying people that have done a bajillion times more work than you. Stop envying their results when you're not willing to put in the level of work that they have put in. I told you guys at the beginning of this live that a lot of what I say will sting. So you can't say I didn't warn you. I know this is a tough subject for so many of you. I know it's hard to hear, but cranking up your level of self-awareness and getting really honest with yourself and going, yeah, you know what? I have been a little bit entitled. I'm not really sure why I felt like I deserve sales on Etsy when I know for damn sure that I have not been putting in the level of work that I need to in order to get the level of results that I want. Okay? I'll step up off that soapbox and we'll continue with a couple of points here. All right? Are you guys still with me, or are you running and hiding? I'm trying to drink my tea before it gets cold. It's really gross. It's dandelion tea and it's disgusting. But it's really good for you, so I'm doing it. Okay, so let's talk about turning a viewer into a buyer. This is more so for you that are more new to my content. A lot of you are. So this is also good reiteration for those of you who have been with me a while, okay? Because you need not forget that this is the main stuff that you need to focus on. Every time I have a live event, the only thing that I will ever talk about, the same goes for my content as well, my paid courses, I'm only ever going to tell you the stuff that matters. We're only ever going to talk about the stuff that actually matters. And a lot of times people will bring things up or they'll ask questions and I just won't answer, or I'll say it doesn't matter. So like, let's move on. Because if you're asking me something that doesn't matter, we're not going to spend time talking about it. And you can bet that any of the information I'm giving you today it's only because it actually does matter. What are the best trends to focus on at the moment? Well, Holly Jackson, you got to get into Wolf School. I don't give away all my secrets on lives. Okay, so first and foremost, when we're talking about turning a viewer into a buyer, first and foremost, solid trending designs, right? You got to do the research. And honestly, you guys, like, I'm here to be a resource for you guys. Yes, that's why I created Wolf School. Because if I sit here and I go, oh, these are the 4 top trends, like that might help you a little bit, but you're just gonna race to create designs around those trends without actually understanding them. The majority of you would, because the only thing you're focused on and thinking about is how to create faster sales and not how to actually understand demand and become better at creating designs that are focused on that trend, right? So I try to do my best in educating you guys from my expertise of being a trend expert in Wolf School. Every single week we're talking about stuff that's in demand, right? And that is your starting point. That is your launch pad. Point A. You have to go through multiple other points yourself in research, in testing designs, in trying different stuff. I cannot make you an expert. I can help you, right? Like Wolf School is extremely valuable in the degree to which I talk about and go in depth on current trends to give you a basic understanding of it. But you guys have to continue doing the work, and a lot of you don't. A lot of people hear about the trends and they're, like I said, they'll go straight into designing. And that they totally miss the emotional connection thing because they don't understand the emotional undercurrent of the trend. They don't understand what made it blow up this year. They don't understand anything about it. They're just so attached to their sales outcomes. All they want are more sales. So they're driven by urgency. So they're like, oh, Western, like some of you heard me say that Western and cowgirl stuff is trending. So you're going to create a bunch of Western designs tonight, and they're probably not going to have a bunch of demand because you don't understand. You don't understand what people are already making a lot of. You don't understand. You don't have a mental archive built. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. You actually have to do the work. We're back. We circled back around to that, right? So I want everybody to eliminate the thought that if they could just get like watching YouTube videos about the top trends or searching, 2023 top trends, that's a fine starting point. But you have to go so much deeper, okay? Muscles and Mayhem says quietly closes Canva. Yeah, it's part, like Wolf School is so valuable in that, like I said, I go really deep to help you guys begin to understand trends, but it's really dangerous in that people are like, oh, cool, let's go design. And then they don't make any sales and they're like, oh, Wolf School doesn't work. Wolf School is not your starting point. Wolf School will not do the work for you. Wolf School is your starting point, sorry. Wolf School will not turn you into an expert just by watching a 15-minute video every week. Wolf School is your starting point to where you will be able to evolve faster into the expert, because it is an incredibly valuable resource. But it is not everything. Too many people are jumping too fast to just creating designs because they hear something. They hear one tip somebody said and they're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do all of this. And then it's crazy, they turn back around and they're like, oh, it didn't work. Like trending, like chasing trends doesn't work. No, you didn't work. Sorry, that's the truth. You did not work. You thought you were entitled enough to think that you could just hear that the Western trend is designing, hop onto Canva, put a cowboy hat and a Santa Claus together, and then get upset when it doesn't sell? No, that's not what we do. Not what we do around here, because that's not what works. That's a waste of time. And that's why people quit, is because they want the fastest thing, because they're so attached to the outcome. They're not worried at all about becoming an expert. They don't want to go through the process. They just want their results. So they skip to designing. They design a bunch of crap that nobody wants or that a billion other people are already selling. And then they come back and proclaim, oh, doesn't work. You didn't work. You did not put in the work necessary to understand what would have actually created an effective design. And like I said, I have content, resources, everything that I'm speaking about. So if you guys are like, oh, I don't really know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that, I can teach you, right? I'm not letting you have excuses. Because if you're here, there's 140 of you here right now that want to be a mega seller bad enough that you're willing to sit through an hour of me publicly flogging you, basically, with my tough love. You're willing to sit here and do that. Are you willing to now get off of the live when it's over? Don't get off early, because we still have really big giveaways. Are you willing to then get off and put in your work? I will not be your shortcut. I will give you every single resource, tip, and trick and strategy that I can in my lives and in my paid content in order to help you get to where you want to go faster and help develop you into more of an expert so you can actually become a six-figure seller. But I am not your shortcut. Lost a few with that comment. Good. Listen, if there's anything I'm not afraid of, it's losing people. Because if you cannot handle the level to which that I teach things at, if you can't handle the tough love, if your feelings get hurt easily, you're not my people, right? I only want to work with people who are so dead serious about becoming mega sellers. I'm not here to teach you how to make a couple $100. I'm just not. I have sellers who are making $200,000 a month on Etsy, you guys, selling print on demand. And people think it's impossible. They're like, it's probably not all demand, or there's probably, there's probably other things involved in that. You're wrong. You're literally completely wrong. Because it is possible, but it's only possible if you're tough, if you're willing to hear, if you're willing to have the self-awareness, if you're willing to go for it. Okay, I've worked one-on-one with these mega sellers, so I'm not going to then lower the level at which I teach because you're a beginner. I'm going to teach you in the exact way that I teach the people who are selling multi-six figures a month on Etsy. I'm going to teach you in the exact same way. If you can handle it, amazing. You're cut out for it and you're going to get there. And I believe that you can. If you can't handle it, a lot of people can't, and that's not really surprising. A lot of people can't do it because they're not there mentally, and that is fully okay. If you're not cut out for this, you could probably be really good at something else. But I'm not worried about losing anybody. I only want people in my world who are like, I want to do that. Teach me how. I'm willing, I'm open, I'm not lazy, I'm not entitled, I'm going to put in the work, show me how. If that's not you, it really doesn't bother me that people unfollow me, right? It happens all the time. Love Wolf School so much. I just now signed up for Top Seller Secret. The motivation and mindset talks are the best. Yay, Holly, I'm so happy. Should we be concerned about the mock-up issue going on? No, you should not. Period. I did a lot of lives around that when it was actually happening, but no, I don't think it's anything to worry about. Okay, truth and transparency, yes. Okay, I'm glad you guys are still with me. So let's talk about turning a viewer back to turning a viewer into a buyer. Like I said, first and foremost, you've got to have the solid trending designs. Okay, you have to actually become an expert on what's in demand. Step one, that's the most important thing of all. Because like I said, you can have terrible SEO and terrible photos even. And if you have really solid in-demand designs, you can have bestsellers. And I'm not saying skip SEO and good photos, because obviously that will always help you. But I always like to talk about the fact that there are hundreds of listings on Etsy with like 3 words in their title, and it has a bestseller badge, and it's a picture of like a flat lay photo. It's really bad, and people are like, I don't understand, Brittany, if SEO is so important, then why do these listings have 3 words in their title and it's a bestseller? And I'm like, it's not confusing at all, because the algorithm's gonna work for you. If designs have demand, it trumps everything else. This is one of the main things that we talk about and I teach in Top Seller Secret, okay? So the very first and foremost thing, that's why I talk about nothing more than I talk about becoming an expert in research. It's the most important thing, brain priming and building your mental archive, okay? Number 2, turning a viewer into a buyer. You do have to have good search engine optimization, okay? You gotta know how to do titles and tags. And like I said, the algorithm's gonna do a lot of work for you if your designs are in demand, but we wanna set ourselves up in the best possible way to get the most possible viewers on our listings from day one. And search engine optimization is a really great tool to do that. So you've gotta have that. And then 3, you've gotta have stellar, out of this world, incredible photos. Your very first photo in particular, because you're competing in a sea of other sellers on Etsy, right? When somebody's shopping and looking through all of these listings on the first page of search, you're competing to get their click. So your first photo is your most valuable real estate, and you should take it very seriously. Somebody asked, should we be concerned about the mock-up stuff happening on Etsy? There was a little bit of drama around that, but in general, no. Okay, just focus on choosing photos that emotionally connect with the design and make sense with the design and catch people's attention, right? That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, so let's talk about, in terms of print-on-demand technicalities for Christmas especially, stock issues can be a big thing. Now, I lived through 2020 Christmas season, and if anybody else in here sold print on demand during the pandemic, you will understand that it was an absolute dumpster fire. 2020 Christmas season was so bad. Everything was out of stock because like overseas they weren't making certain colors, and like shipping was crazy. Like it was so bad, right? So anything happening beyond that, when people like complain about a certain color being out of stock or whatever, I'm like, you will literally have no idea. If I could make it through 2020, and I was teaching print on demand at that point, so I had a bunch of other students who made it through as well. Anybody can make it through anything. Yes, Chris says sand. Sand t-shirts, sand sweatshirts. I mean, it's still an out of stock issue because sand is such a popular color. But in essence, in terms of stock issues, it's not something to worry about, right? It's not something to lose your mind over. Stock issues are something that can be avoided in a multitude of ways, turn on order rerouting. If you're using Printify, which everybody should be, just turn on order rerouting. I hear all of this crazy stuff about reasons why people don't do it. I understand sometimes if the order is sent to a different partner manufacturer, it will be more expensive. However, you can set those limits. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can set how high. You could say like, I'll only switch it to another manufacturer. If one manufacturer is out of stock, only switch it to another if there's up to a $3 difference, right? So I'm the biggest proponent of order rerouting. Start there. If not, I always, this ring light is just getting way too bright as it's getting darker outside. I always had a Printful account and a Printify account. Now, this is not necessarily something you need to worry about if you're a brand new seller. It's probably a little bit overkill if you're not making a bunch of sales yet, but if you are super busy, it's nice to have a Printify and Printful account, because most of the time if something's sold out on Printify, you can find it or something similar on Printful and put in a manual order on Printful. Okay, so that's a really good workaround for stock issues. But A, if you're using Printify, turn on order rerouting. B, get a Printful account. Super easy. And then in terms of shipping and processing times, just know what's happening. Whatever print-on-demand provider you're with, read their holiday guides, read through their list of shipping times, processing times, all of that, so you can give your customers the right information. Just be in the know. Be prepared with the right information. And then, so these are my top tips. Whatever print-on-demand provider you're working with, as I said earlier, read their holiday guides, okay? So Printify has, if you Google Printify holiday guide, don't DM me for the link. Just Google it, you guys. I believe in you. I know that you can find it yourself. Google Printify 2023 holiday guide. It's really, really useful in all the information that it gives. And at the bottom, I thought this was so freaking cool. They have message templates. So like when somebody messages you asking like, can I get this by a certain time, or what's your shipping processing time? They created message templates, and I do this for my students in Top Seller Secret. I create message templates, but like Printify did this as well. And it's an awesome freebie that's at the bottom of this holiday guide. So you can just copy and paste your own information in there. It's really, really good templates. Number 2, this is so important. The best defense during the holiday season is offense in your shop. Be prepared by being detailed. Have a photo graphic of your shipping times, of your deadline for order by this time to get it by Christmas. Put it also in your description. Like, put the right information everywhere, because what we're trying to do is eliminate as much confusion or like people not getting it on time and they didn't know. You need to give your customers the right information so you can avoid any sort of negative reviews or return requests or whatever. Be on the offensive. Just be prepared. Create text graphics. Put it in your photos. Like I said, include it also in the description. You can follow up to every order with a message saying, here's all of our Christmas information. You'll be getting your package then, or you can expect it then. Like, there's so many different things that you can do to stay in really good contact with your customer, or to give them really good information that they need that's going to probably save your ass later on too, if you play the offensive, which means you have to be prepared and do that before the traffic starts really hitting. All right, and then 3, be in the Be a Wolf Biz Facebook group. You guys, for the love of all that is holy, please get into the Be a Wolf Biz general Facebook group. It is free, and it is one of the best resources that you have. My mega sellers are in there, right? So if you come up against a problem, you can just post in that group and say, listen, you guys, I did this, my customer said that, what do I do? And you can get advice from people that are selling at 20 times the level you are, that have probably been through that exact scenario 100 times. Right? So play the offensive, be in a detailed zone of where you're just ready with all the right information. You've read through the holiday guides, you're a part of the Facebook group, you've got all the resources you need at your fingertips, creating efficiency by being prepared. Okay? Okay. The last point here is that you are capable of this, right? Everything is figure outable. Every single thing that you go through this year, this Q4, this Christmas season, is figure outable. If you want to make it to mega seller levels, you can. You just have to have that attitude and that mindset of literally whatever comes my way. I'm expecting things to be challenging. I'm expecting challenges to come up, because what I'm trying to do is meaningful work, and meaningful work will always have challenges. So I not only expect challenges, I accept them, and I'm excited about them, because it's going to test me in ways that are going to grow me into more of the expert that gets me closer to being a mega seller, because not a single mega seller has skipped over those challenges. None of them quit when they were met with them. That could be the difference between you and them. is that they just didn't quit. They were like, everything's figure outable. I can do this. This sucks. There will be things that suck. In building any sort of business, there is print on demand. For some reason, people don't look at it as building a business. They look at it as like, oh, Etsy is this great place to sell online. So accepting challenges and welcoming them. And when you have a focus, when you know that like becoming the expert is the main thing that you need to focus on in order to actually become the mega seller, challenges are cool. They're fun. They're something that should be celebrated. And I think the main thing is that you have to be aware that no one is spared those things. I think a lot of people come up against really hard stuff like out of stock issues or a bunch of bad reviews in a single block of time or whatever, and they think nobody else seems to worry about, or this stuff doesn't seem to happen to anybody else. It's really annoying. I don't think I can get through it, blah, 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 blah. It's not true. Shit happens to everybody, right? That's my one curse word for the live. You have to be able to work through things, period, okay? All right, so I'm going to now, we're gonna do a really big, really big giveaway in just a second. So I don't want any of you to get off. Please stay on here with me. I'm also gonna do a Q&A sesh for a couple minutes, and we're just gonna talk about whatever questions you have. But I want to talk to you about the Black Friday specials that I'm doing, and I'm so excited. Okay, so the first Black Friday special, obviously for those of you who are not yet in Top Seller Secret, it is my main master course. Everything that I've talked about today in terms of like knowing trends, becoming an expert in demand, knowing how to do search engine optimization, titles and tags, leveraging erank.com to make database decisions based on actual Etsy customer data, not throwing stuff at the wall. Scientist, detective, gymnast phases, which is the scaling method that I teach in order to build your shop from 10 sales to 10,000 sales, right? You have to test, you have to be flexible, you have to do all this sort of stuff in a certain type of, or a certain form of phases in order to scale your shop. That's what's inside Top Seller Secret. So I announced this on Monday, but I have a little extra special thing I'm doing here. Top Seller Secret for pay in full. I'm including the Designing for the Holidays mini course, which is so good. It's a bunch of actual like screen shared videos of me designing like trend combining holiday stuff and like how to do it. So what I talked about today, if you're like, okay, Brittany, that is great, that makes sense, but like how? Designing for the holidays is how, and I'm including that with Top Seller Secret. And then I'm doing another, we did this in September and it was like one of the most successful things I've ever done. We're doing another 4-day live exclusive event only for Top Seller Secret students. This is huge. If you were in this 4-day live in September, chime in the comments how massive and powerful it was, because like, it was next level. It was so good. It was so good that I have to do it again. So everybody that joins before Monday will get into that 4-day live exclusive event. If you thought this live was good, just wait. Just wait till you're an actual Top Seller Secret student and you see what I teach in my paid content. It's insane. Okay, so the last part about this is if you join Top Seller Secret, pay in full, the next 6 hours only, I'm reopening the $100 off thing. Okay, and I always said I never discount Top Seller Secret. I'm doing it for only 6 hours. The link is currently in my bio. It's under Black Friday deals for the next 6 hours. You're gonna get $100 off Top Seller Secret. You're gonna get Designing for the Holidays. You're gonna get the 4-day live exclusive event access to that for only Top Seller Secret members. And you're gonna get all of the bonuses that could possibly be involved in Top Seller Secret, okay? So usually if you watch my webinar, I have a 48-hour bonus package that comes if you buy Top Seller Secret in 48 hours of watching the webinar. All of that is included this week, okay? If you are even slightly on the fence about joining Top Seller Secret, I'm telling you, do it right now or you will regret it, okay? So the next, this is gonna interest a lot of you. The next Black Friday special I am launching today. This is a brand new thing. It's called a Quick Start Guide. And I've had the Quick Start Guide in the past. Some of the Quick Start Guide is included in Top Seller Secret, but now I'm making it available to everyone that is new to my content, this is also linked in my bio. It's everything you need to accelerate your success journey for brand new sellers. So those of you asking like, how do I list products? What do I price them at? How do I connect Printify to Etsy? How do I do this and this and that? All of that is covered, plus so much more, okay? So I added a bunch of stuff to this. You're gonna get my Blank to Bank ebook. You're gonna get every mega seller interview I've ever done. So I've had so many mega sellers. I think there's 7 or 8 interviews total. There's many more mega sellers that came out of Top Seller Secret, but in terms of interviews, all of those are included in the Quick Start Guide, so you can watch and glean information from them as well. I'm included what's called my Big Shift Masterclass, which shows you how to shift from that urgent, like sales-oriented, desperate energy to becoming a mega seller in your mindset, becoming a mega seller first, so you can get the mega seller results that follow from first making the shift mentally, okay? That's included, and you're getting 10 design templates and 10 free Be a Wolf Biz mockups, okay? So if you're brand new here, if you don't know where to start, of course, I would encourage you to hop into Top Seller Secret if you can. If that is something that you can do, it's going to be the most valuable move that you make. However, if you want to start somewhere at a lower investment, I'm making this Quick Start Guide available. It's going to be $47 for the next 6 hours only, then it goes up to $67. Okay, so if you just want a starting point, get into the Quick Start Guide. And again, I'm just launching this today. This has not existed before, okay? In addition to all of that, once you join the Quick Start Guide, there is a coupon code that's going to allow you to get, if you like buy it today, it's going to allow you to take $47 off of Top Seller Secret. Like you're going to apply that purchase to your Top Seller Secret purchase if you decide that's something you want to jump into in the future. Okay, let's do the giveaways. If you guys have any questions about the Black Friday deals, you can DM me or you can ask in the chat, but I want to do the giveaways now. I'm going to give away Top Seller Secret, okay? Someone says that background is lovely. I know my view at night is like, it's so next level. I'm like the luckiest girl on the planet. It's so beautiful. I'm gonna give away Top Seller Secret. So for those of you who are not yet in Top Seller Secret, for those of you that are though, do not leave because I'm gonna give away a shop critique as well, okay? I'm hurrying home so I can sign up for Top Seller Secret. You better be home within the next 6 hours. The link is in my bio. You guys use that link only in my bio. You will only get the bonuses for the next 6 hours if you join at the link in my bio underneath the Black Friday specials tab, okay? All right, so if you are not yet in Top Seller Secret, obviously if you are, hang tight because I'm gonna give away a shop critique like I said, but if you are not in Top Seller Secret, I'm going to give away one full access pass. You're gonna get the whole Black Friday special, baby. Pearly says, get Top Seller Secret. You will not be disappointed. It's everything. Thank you, Pearly. I happen to agree with you. I'm in Top Seller Secret already. Is a Quick Start Guide included or should it get separate? No, if you're already in Top Seller Secret, the Quick Start Guide is the first module, so you're all good. Perfect. Do you give advice on other sites? No, because I believe Etsy to be the smartest place to sell print on demand because you have 96 million buyers there every single year shopping on the platform. I feel good and focus is everything. Sarita says, I feel good, been doing lots of research, but some days the time doesn't always present itself for more brain priming. Love when I can do it because I love researching. Great, that's amazing. Just keep the momentum. Whenever you can get it in, do it. I'm gonna tell my kids that their Christmas present to them is going to be Top Seller Secret for me. You know what? The Unicorn Coach, that makes sense to me because the results that people see from Top Seller Secret, your kids will be thanking you later, given what you're able to do for them, right? I have people DMing me all the time. They're like, we went to Hawaii. I took my family to Hawaii with what I'm earning in my shop. We moved into a new house in Florida or like my dream home by the beach or whatever. Like the stuff people are actually capable of doing with this information, it's bananas. So your kids should be thanking you and me, honestly. It's 1:15 a.m. here in the UK. That's how dedicated I am. Lovelyhead, that is extremely dedicated because even I wouldn't do that. I can't stay up past 11 or no, there's no or, I just can't. Do you set your Christmas cutoff date a few days before Printify's? No, I don't. How do you keep track of your research? I don't. this isn't college, right? Like this is not something that you have to run the numbers with and do all this stuff. In Top Seller Secret, I teach you guys how to leverage specific resources, but you don't have to track it. You have to build your mental archive, which is that subconscious part of your brain that's going to store the details of what's in demand. So it's not important to track things. It's important to observe things and let your brain do the rest. It gets to be that simple. People like, and of course it's important to like save things to Pinterest boards, or you can save things on Instagram depending on where you're researching. Saving stuff is great because you can go back and reference it, but there is no tracking necessary. And the reason why I'm really gung-ho on that is because most people then get lost in the tracking. Like they research in order to be able to track, and it's like, that's not, we research to build our mental archive. And the mental archive, it's your subconscious at work, so it does the work for you. What's most important is that you're just getting trend information, what's in demand, in front of your two eyeballs so it can absorb that information and build that part of your subconscious brain. Do you suggest setting up an LLC and having a separate bank account from the beginning? No, I absolutely do not recommend doing that from the beginning. People they're way too crazy about that. It's not required, it's not necessary. If you're a really like on top of it person, you can do that, but it's really not necessary. And also I think it creates a lot of pressure, and people are like, oh, I have an LLC now. Like, just focus on doing the work first. All the other stuff can come after. Focus on what's most important now. How do you keep a listing from losing its momentum? You don't. 3 beating hearts, you're gonna be in Top Seller Secret now, so you're not going to have to worry about this question ever. That's too much push, that's too much pressure. We don't keep things from losing momentum. We just become an expert at what's in demand, and we're always 3 steps ahead, putting out stuff that's gonna have triple the demand of whatever the last thing that became a bestseller was. Asking, that's the wrong question basically. And I'm not saying like, oh, how dare you ask that question, but you'll learn like how to start asking the right questions to get you better answers that develop you into more of an expert mega seller, if that makes sense. But I'm glad you asked that question. It's a focus thing. And a lot of times when people ask me questions, I talked about this recently, I will have to like flip the question on its head, and I don't have an answer to that question because it's not a question that's in alignment with how mega sellers make decisions, if that makes sense. I can't wait for you to be in Top Seller Secret. I'm so excited. Okay, guys, any other questions? Any other final questions for me? These were really good questions at the end, and I appreciate you guys being here. Sorry about the slides. Get into Top Seller Secret. Click the link in my bio. If you guys have any questions about this stuff whatsoever, you can DM me, and I will get back to you. But if there's no other questions, I'm gonna wrap it up. The replay, both of these sections of the live will be available on my Instagram feed, so you can watch them back if you need to. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see you guys in the Black Friday deals. And I'm excited to see what 2024 has for all of you, because if you decide you want it to work, you can make it work. Is Top Seller Secret and Wolf School different? I don't know what to buy. Yes, they are completely different. I do not sell anything that's like the same or has overlap. Top Seller Secret is my foundational masterclass. It's where everybody should begin. All of this information, and actually this question specifically, is addressed in the link in my bio, so you're gonna get the best answer there. Wolf School is my monthly trend spotting membership, so you're getting weekly content based on what's in demand and what's trending, whatever. Top Seller Secret is my foundational strategic blueprint. So everyone should start at Top Seller Secret. If you buy through my webinar, that's also linked in my bio, you get a free month of Wolf School. Most people are in both. They work synergistically because one gives you the foundation, Top Seller Secret, and one continues to help you build as you go and support you as you go and always keep you in the know about what's trending next, which is Wolf School. So they work synergistically. But if you're looking at like, where should I start? 1000% Top Seller Secret. No qualms about it. Okay, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. This was really, really fun. And I'll talk to you soon.